What's up, baby bards? I'm Ann Richmond, aka Hearthsinger, the head bard in charge round these here parts, and I'm also a professional dungeon master. Oh yeah, that's right. And I've recently become addicted to Animal Crossing New Horizons. What do these two things have to do with each other? Well, that's the video, isn't it? You gotta sell the turnips and get them bells, dive in the ocean and catch some fish. It's all on the stars you wish. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo. 5 p.m. is the best song. 5 p.m. is the best song. If you don't agree, then you're wrong. 5 p.m. in Animal Crossing is the best song. Call me KK. I've had a million conversations this year with folks who are just struggling to keep TTRPG players invested in their online games, especially as more games have moved to these new platforms. And I did make a video specifically about addressing those struggles, about moving games online, which I'll link below. And yet, last night as I carefully marked out plots of land for my residential area, 5 p.m. song. I wish this song played all day long. Woo! And built a museum acropolis for my Mermaid Queen's island empire. It hit me. There are some really good reasons why so many people are so invested in Animal Crossing. And reasons that we can actually investigate as D&D players and build into our games to create that same, I hesitate to say it, but addiction in our players. So here are 3 things Dungeon Masters can learn from playing Animal Crossing New Horizons. In Animal Crossing, there's nothing quite like building a park and then discovering later that your villagers are in there doing zoomies or singing for the world to hear or studying local flora or checking out the local coffee shop you just built. Similarly, Dungeon Masters thrive on creating a world for their players to explore. But when was the last time you worked with your players to build something together that your NPCs that they love or love to hate will interact with and appreciate? Do they want to invest in a local orphanage that teaches kids the skills they need to become adventurers? Do they later return to find that these kids were able to defend this orphanage from thieves Home Alone style? Help them create places and locations that they can come back to again and again and see how your world has been affected by their presence inside of it. The next big lesson from New Horizons is don't be afraid to gate content. The amount of joy I felt when my clothing shop finally opened on my island after playing for about 3 weeks was way more intense and incredible than it had any right being. And that's because Animal Crossing limits what you can accomplish in a day. You don't get every feature of your town all at once. You have to breed common flowers to get more interesting colors. You need to collect materials and hit rocks and chop trees in order to open a store. You need to save components every day to craft mermaid-themed furniture from your local otter friend. You gotta wait till Sunday morning to purchase turnips that could make you rich beyond your wildest imaginings. The power of making players wait for what they want only makes them crave it more. And while great roles deserve great things, they shouldn't trivialize the amount of commitment it takes to have a lasting effect that will shape the world they're playing in. Just because the bard aces a performance check for a mysterious stranger doesn't mean they automatically reveal all of their darkest secrets. If they like an NPC, if they want to achieve something great, make them wait. Lastly, don't forget about the power of comfort. It's so palpable between attempted coups and hundreds of hours playing games like Cyberpunk 2077. I think I'd forgotten what it felt like to play a relaxing game and the power that it has to melt away stress, to transport me, to spend the day creating waterfalls and planting flowers on a cliffside and wishing on stars with my friends. In D&D, there are already plenty of opportunities to make your player characters anxious. Curse of Strahd, for example, is built. It flies on the wings of mountains of anxiety and this mist that obscures the right choice from view all the time. Taking the time to let them share a bottle of wine in Vallaki or some campfire tales on a wintry evening in the mountains is well worth it. Hard choices and challenges should be hard, but even in a gothic horror story like that, tension needs to be resolved so that you can build it again. A good shopping episode, preparing for a winter's ball at a noble person's house, a bathhouse visit, or fun in a local tavern and gambling games. It creates roleplay opportunities that can really cement the player characters' interpersonal relationships. And it helps you feel the togetherness and camaraderie both at the table as characters and at the table as people. And so much of that is sorely missed in this time where we're all so far from the people we care about. So put down those stat blocks every once in a while. Put down the encounter builders and prep fantastic food and drink. A description of the way a hug from a beloved NPC makes someone feel. The scent of oils in the market. Sometimes you won't need them, and that prep seems to be wasted, but when you do have it, when the time comes, you'll know you took just as much care to create something beautiful and sweet for your players as you did to create the final boss fight. And I think that's important. I hope you guys liked this video. I had a ton of fun making it. Please, of course, if you did, like and subscribe for more TTRPG content every week. And tell me in the comments if I missed another lesson that Animal Crossing New Horizons has to teach us about D&D. I also stream on Twitch a few days a week, and I've definitely been playing a bit of Animal Crossing over there. Here's a set of Survivor, which I do have a Survivor theme to this kind of corner of my island because I really like Survivor. You have officially come as far as you can go by yourself in this game. The rest is up to the jury. You will now have to prove to the jury why you think you deserve to win the $1 million and the title of Sole Survivor after 39 days of surviving the elements, the challenges, and each other. Stabby Tabby, how does it feel to have lived in the wilderness on Brightclaw for 39 days?
Invigorating.
I'd love to have you come by and come see my town. And if you're interested in supporting my content here or on Twitch, please, by all means, check out my Patreon, which also boasts some awesome opportunities for you to join me as your dungeon master for D&D one-shots. We've been having a blast with those. You can also find me online at these socials, and you'll find a link to join my Discord community in the info section below. You know you want to. My content is supported by The Wandering Merchant. They are buyers and sellers of used D&D books, miniatures, and more, making it more affordable than ever to complete your collection. Use code Hearthsinger for 10% off at checkout. You'll find a link to their website in my description below. Thanks again for watching, you guys. Now get out there and live your quest life and go make them bells.